Okay, I'm just going to make a quick recording to show how to write an introduction. Now, if you saw my video earlier today, an hour or so ago, you can see it on YouTube and Apparat. I commented on, your latest set of introductions. So I'm going to take a couple more two-part questions and maybe opinion, and I'll show you a method which you can use, which I think you'll find useful. So, let me just. Okay, two-part question, right? Nowadays, people use different machines and devices to do housework. Do you see it continuing as a trend? What are the advantages and disadvantages of this? Now, I'm not going to go through the planning stage, how to analyze the question, because I've made videos about this before. This is purely how to write this introduction. So, first thing, sentence one, paraphrase the topic. That's it. That's the same for task 1 or 2. First thing that you do, paraphrase the topic. That's it. Don't include anything that's not there. Don't exclude anything which is there. Only what it says. If you want to add any information, details, examples, you do that in your body paragraphs, not here. The introduction should be purely and simply a restatement of the task. Then answer the questions clearly and directly as the criteria asks for. Maybe we'll have another video looking at criteria at a later date. So, what we've got to do now, we've got to paraphrase. Now, don't try and change every single word. You probably can't. And I've seen quite a lot of introductions where people have tried to change too much and it hasn't worked. If you can't find a synonym, change the form of the word. And again, I've made a video or two about this elsewhere on YouTube and Apparat. So nowadays people use different machines and devices to do housework. So it's nowadays. So we could say maybe currently. Different machines, devices. Currently, there are many machines, devices. I suppose they're electrical. There are many electrical devices to help with the housework. Okay, that's not too bad, is it? Okay, so nowadays, it's currently, it's not in the past, it's like now, different machines. Machines are usually electric devices, so electrical devices would do fine. Now, I didn't change housework. I could have maybe changed it to household tasks, maybe. Household tasks, but it's basically the same, So I don't need to mention people, because obviously people, machines don't do housework by themselves. So I don't need to say that people use. If you want to, you could say currently there are many electrical devices that people use to help with the housework. If you want to include that, you can do. Okay, to help with housework or household tasks. So that's the first thing. Sentence 1 is done. Okay. Now we've got to briefly answer the questions. What we don't want, as I said before, we don't want these empty, dead. In this essay, I will answer the questions. Tell me here. Tell the reader now what you're going to do. Briefly answer. Clearly, directly. That's what the criteria says. I do see this trend continuing in the future as as technology develops. Because I do. And I would probably, for paragraph 2, answering question 1, I would probably talk about, in the future there may well be machines or robots to do the vacuuming or the housework. I don't know. We've got smart fridges that order food from the supermarkets that automatically know when there's no food in. You've got those little robots that do your vacuuming up. So, yeah, I do see this trend continuing in the future as technology develops. Now, what I've got to do now, I have to briefly mention what I think the advantages and the disadvantages of this trend, because I do see it continuing. Now, I know it says advantages and disadvantages. If you want to include 2, you can, or you can simply say the main advantage is, the main disadvantage is. So, let's say in the future as technology develops. Oops. This essay will discuss time saving as the main. I'll paraphrase that as a main benefit of this, whereas a possible downside could be increased laziness. I don't know. I'm just thinking, off the top of my head here, just to give you some ideas of how this works. So, to restate, sentence 1, paraphrase the topic. So, currently, there are many electrical devices that people use to help with housework / household tasks. Okay. Question 1. I do see this trend continuing in the future as technology develops. So I'm not just simply saying, yes, it will continue. I'm giving something extra. Okay, and that's what paragraph 2 would be talking about. Question 2, for paragraph 3, I now have to give some indication where the essay is going. Now, you could answer both these questions in a single sentence. Doesn't matter. Or you could do it in 2 sentences, as I have. This essay will discuss time saving as the main benefit of this being this continuing trend, whereas a possible downside could be increased laziness. So what I would be talking about there, saving time for busy housewives, however, laziness because, you're not physically cleaning and beating and washing, etc. And that would do fine for an introduction. Okay? So, just to restate, sentence 1, restate the task, then answer whatever the questions are in brief. Now, if it's an advantage or disadvantage, you can do it like this. If it says, to what extent do you agree? In my view, X is Y because reason 1 for paragraph 2, reason 2 for paragraph 3. So that's all that you basically do. Summarize the topic, don't include anything extra that needs to come in body paragraph 2 and 3. Don't exclude anything. Try and keep it on topic. Don't write any of these. It is a common phenomenon. It is a controversial subject. Don't write any of those. Get straight to the point. The criteria says clear and simple. Sorry, clear and direct. Okay? Restate, answer. Then you expand in paragraph 2 and 3. Okay. Give it a try, and I'll see you later.